D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to my week in review, where I come to you every Sunday with 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and then we discuss them down below. Now, also down below in the description, you can find the articles that I'm about to read to you, and you can read them for yourself and everything, or you can just watch this video where I'm going to read them for you. Now, before I get started, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we always get shoved to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. So now that we're done with that, why don't we go ahead and get started? So for my first story this week, Stan Lee and his, his peoples. So Stan Lee died, and he was like, involved with Marvel and everything, creating all these different characters and stuff like that. And from this article coming from the Hollywood Reporter, it says Stan Lee returns to Marvel Studios with Genius Brands POW Entertainment licensing deal. Now, what this is it says the 20-year deal includes future appearances in Marvel movies and TV series, along with apparel and theme park experiences. And we'll talk about that as we read the rest of this article. I have to tell you right now, just personally, I don't know how I feel about this, but we will talk about it in just one second. Call it Stan Lee Homecoming. In a unique deal, Stan Lee, the beloved co-creator of Spider-Man, Avengers, and Hulk, who died in 2018, is returning to Marvel Studios. Marvel has signed a 20-year deal with Stan Lee Universe, a venture between Genius Brands International and POW Entertainment, to license the name and likeness of Lee for use in future feature films and television productions, as well as Disney theme parks, various experiences, and merchandising. Now, I just have to say right now, the first thing I want to say is I have no problem with merchandising. Stan Lee is, he is a staple, a brick, a corner brick, of the foundation of Marvel. And so I think that making, shirts with his likeness on it, or making action figures and everything, that portion of the program, I'm 110% fine with. Or maybe, you use, different, clips of him and stuff like that. That part I'm okay with. The likeness part in future films and TV productions, that part I don't know about. I will talk about that as we go along in this thing. And it says, it really ensures that Stan, through digital technology and archival footage and other forms, will live in the most important venue, the Marvel movies and Disney theme parks, and said Andy Hayward, chairman and CEO of Genius Brands. It's a broad deal. And again, I'll give you more of my thoughts on this. Just give me 2 seconds. So it says, Lee was the writer and editor-in-chief at Marvel Comics in the 1960s, when he, along with artists such as Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, ushered in the creation of superheroes that are now the basis for the world's biggest blockbuster films. He also, sorry, they were playing that alcohol commercial. I was going to stop it, but it's just pictures of him. Sorry. He, where was I? He also became the ever-smiling public face of the company, a stately position. Sorry, I'm just watching this video. Stan was great. I love Stan Lee so much. He was so great. So great. Look at him. He's such a great dude. I never met him before. When I went to the one time I went to New York Comic-Con, he was there, and I regret not getting an autograph, but the line was so long, you guys. And like, if you've ever been to a Comic-Con, like this, the floor to buy like action figures or, autographs and stuff like that, and is so, it's so huge and everything. But to get an autograph from Stan Lee, the line was like out the door. It was so long. All right. Anyways, let me finish this thing. So he held over decades, despite changing his actual job title and responsibilities, and even after he officially parted ways with the company. Lee found himself, let's see, back. Sorry, they moved the video down to this corner. It's so great. Lee found himself back in the pop culture spotlight in the 21st century due to his cameos, first in Marvel-based adaptations such as Fox's X-Men and Sony's Spider-Man franchises. Then with Marvel Studios' ever-growing list of hits, by the time he passed away, audiences who'd never even picked up a comic book were connecting to him and looked forward to his warm comedy bits. However, this new deal does not necessarily pave the way for the return of the cameos in movies, at least not in the way fans traditionally knew them. Insiders caution it is unclear if the public even has an appetite to see Lee digitally resurrected, as actors such as Carrie Fisher and Peter Cushing were in certain Star Wars movies. Now I just have to say, when Carrie Fisher, and I believe, yeah, she was alive when her character made its appearance in Rogue One. Peter Cushing was not, but I believe, but they got the okay from his family, so I feel a little bit better that with that and everything. I'm not too upset about that. The deal does give Marvel permission to use Lee's name, voice, likeness, and signature in movies and television projects, as well as to use images, existing footage, and existing audio recordings featuring him. The rights to use Lee's name, voice, likeness, and signature exclusively in the theme parks, cruise lines, and in the in-park merchandise were also included in the deal. Audiences and park goers could see Lee turn up as figures and toys on apparel and stationery. Now that that last part, him showing up, like I said before, I'm totally okay with him being action figures, Funko Pop, stuff like that. I'm also fine with him that their signature of those action figures have the signature on them. Apparel also, I'm totally fine if they have a shirt that has Stan Lee on it, and stationery. I don't buy stationery, but whatever. Let me just read this last part and then I'll give you more of my opinion. So it says, oh, shut up. Genius Brand, a global kids media company, created the joint venture with POW, a media company co-founded by Lee along with Gil Champion, and who called Lee a mentor and is former chairman of DIC Entertainment. Sorry, I'm just going through this because there's some stuff. The audience revered Stan, and if it's done with taste and class, I'm sorry, this is moving, and respect of who he was, use of his likeness will be welcomed, and said Hayward. He is beloved personality, and long after you and I are gone, he will remain the essence of Marvel. That I agree with. Stan was great. Stanley was so great. Now, as far as him being in movies, that part I don't know about. I don't know about him being in movies and them using his likeness. And it's not because I don't like, for instance, the Carrie Fisher thing, like I said before, I believe, yeah, she was alive when a Rogue One came out. So that, again, I'm okay with because she was alive and she could be like, yeah, go ahead and put me in there and de-age me. That's fine. I'm totally fine with it. This one, obviously, he's not alive. And I do think that a small piece of me wants to be like, it would be so great to see Stan Lee in the next Avengers movie, or to see, Stan Lee, make a cameo in the background of a TV show or whatnot. However, that's a small piece of me. The larger piece of me goes, this is kind of sick. The man is dead. We need to stop pretending. We all know he's not alive. But then I also think that I saw something on Twitter that a lot of people don't realize that Stan Lee had a huge portion in making these characters. I mean, there were other people that had responsibility of creating characters, but Stan Lee is just really like the essence, like they said in here, and really the face of Marvel. And a lot of people, I guess, believe that Kevin Feige made these characters up. And I go, what? No, I don't think so. So, as I said before, apparel, toys, the theme park experience, I'm not sure what they would do there. If they use old footage of him, I'm totally okay with that too. He already filmed that stuff. That stuff I'm totally okay with. Like if they film, let's just pretend they filmed a deleted scene in Avengers that they never used before, and they have a movie that's takes place in New York, like there wouldn't be one, and they want to use that old footage of him in a deleted scene and put him in here, I'm totally okay with that. Same thing with, let's say, for Thor Ragnarok, when he was that little machine guy man. If they put him in on another movie where he's with Jeff Goldblum's character, not the Collector, what was he, the Game Master or the Gamester or whatever, if they use a deleted scene with him in it, with that Game Master guy, I'm totally okay with that too. It's the creating a digital image of him and having somebody stand in for him that I don't know. I'm not 100% on board with that. So we'll just see what's happening there. So that is my first story of this week. So for my second story of this week, it looks like Daredevil is coming to Disney Plus, you guys, in a new series. It looks like they're going to reboot it and everything. I'm not quite sure. Let's read through this article. So it says, Daredevil Disney Plus series in the works with Matt Corman, Chris Ord set to write. Yeah, this is exciting. Oh, first off, let me just say before I get into this, I don't know how you felt about the Daredevil show. I liked it. I thought season 2 was the weakest season out of all of them, in my personal opinion. And I really liked what they did with Bullseye. I thought that was very interesting, and I would be curious to see where they go from here, especially if they do a reboot. So let's get into this article. So it says a new Daredevil series is moving forward at Disney Plus, with Variety having exclusively learned from sources that Matt Corman and Chris Ord are attached to write and executive produce. Rumors have persisted for some time that a Disney Plus series about the man without fear was in the works, especially considering that 2 of the stars of the Netflix Daredevil series, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, have appeared in recent Marvel projects. Cox once again played Matt Murdock, the secret identity of Daredevil in the film Spider-Man No Way Home, while D'Onofrio reprised his role of Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, in the Disney Plus series Hawkeye. Now, I have to just say, I like that D'Onofrio reappeared and everything, but it didn't feel like the same character, in my opinion. I felt that his Disney Plus Kingpin wasn't as ruthless as his one from the Netflix shows, which is fine. I just, yeah. It now appears that the project is picking up steam with the hiring of Corman and Ord, although Marvel has yet to announce anything regarding the show formally. Reps for Corman and Ord declined to comment. Marvel Studios reps do not comment on projects in development. Corman and usually, and right now, since Variety is reporting on this, it probably means it's really happening. I mean, come on, and everything. Plus, a lot of fans really want this. I don't think that the showrunner from the Netflix shows is involved, but I mean, they kind of mentioned, I see Netflix in here, which I think is probably a misstep. But at the same time, from what I understand, there were problems between him and the studio. Corman and Ord most famously co-created the U.S. network series Covert Affairs, starring Piper Perotto and Christopher Gorham. I never saw that. I think I saw like one episode of that. The show aired for 5 seasons on the basic Cobbler between 2010 and 2014. They most recently worked as executive producers and co-showrunners on the NBC drama show The Enemy Within and The Brave, as well as the CW series Containment. I didn't see any of those. They are repped by Who Cares. Fans have been clamoring for more Daredevil ever since the Netflix series was canceled in 2018 after 3 seasons. They were in for a long wait, however, as Variety reported in 2018 that the deal with Netflix included a clause that prevented any characters from the Marvel Netflix shows from appearing in any non-Netflix projects for 2 years after cancellation. The move came as Disney looked to bring its Marvel heroes under one umbrella, with multiple Marvel Cinematic Universe shows having since debuted on Disney Plus. Moon Knight, starring Oscar Isaac, was the last such show to premiere, with a trailer for the She-Hulk series starring Tatiana Maslany dropping earlier this week. And that's it on that. I just have to say, again, I'm pro this. I think this is good news. I mean, I don't know how you feel about the show from Netflix, but I did like it, and I like Charlie Cox as Daredevil. I think he does a good job, so I'm excited for this, and I can't wait to see it. It will be interesting to see what they do with it. Will they just completely start over again? Which I'm fine with that also, and from what I understand, all the original people are coming back. I'm fine with that if they just start all over again and do like a little reboot thing. But I'd be totally cool with them just picking up where they left off, kind of thing, and just because it's already on Disney Plus, so it's like, why not just pick up where we left, you know? So that is my second story of the week. And so for my third and final story of the week, Red Power Ranger actor charged with fraud. What? No. Austin St. John, who played the superhero in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, was one of the 18 people charged in a federal indictment on Thursday. This is so sad. That's Austin St. John. He's the Red Ranger, the first Red Ranger. Love it. Okay, so let's read this a little bit. The actor behind the Red Power Ranger, an iconic TV superhero in the 1990s, was charged with fraud on Thursday. Austin St. John, whose real name is Jason Lawrence Greger, I didn't know that, was one of 18 people charged in a federal indictment announced by the U.S. Attorney Britt Featherston in Texas. That's not Jason is his real name. I didn't know that. According to the indictment, St. John was alleged part of a scheme to defraud lenders. And the Small Business Administration's Paycheck Protection Program. The program helps small businesses impacted as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and was funded by the CARES Act. St. John and others allegedly received at least 16 loans and acquired $3.5 million in the scheme. Wow, that's so much. The announcement said, if convicted, he could spend up to 20 years in federal prison. Oh my gosh. Well, I know he's not going to be invited to the new Power Rangers reboot. The indictment named Michael Hill, a co-leader of the scheme, as the person who recruited St. John and others to gather existing or new businesses for PPP application. Andrew Moran, who was also named as a co-leader of the scheme, allegedly assisted the Power Rangers actor and others with paperwork used to misrepresent the businesses. This is so interesting. Once in receipt of the fraudulently obtained funds, the defendants did not use the money as intended, such as to pay employee salaries, cover fixed debt or utility payments, or continue healthcare benefits for employees, Featherston announced. Instead, the defendants typically paid Hill and Moran, transferred money to their personal accounts, and spent the funds on various personal purchases. That's not nice. That's mean. St. John is known for playing Jason Lee Scott in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the first role of his career in 1993. He left the show in its second season, but would return in later renditions of the popular superhero franchise. Real quick, they left because the company Saban and Fox was making like so much money off Power Rangers, and the actors were like basically making nothing. Like they were trying to pay their own rent. St. John was set to appear in Des Moines Con in Iowa. I don't know how to say that. This weekend, however, event organizers announced he would not attend due to unforeseen personal obligations. Yeah, like going to prison. Oh, let's see. St. John isn't the only Power Ranger to face legal troubles. Former Power Rangers Wild Force actor Ricardo Mendina Jr. was sentenced to 6 years in prison in 2017 after he pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter. He said he stabbed a man whom officials identified as his roommate, Josh Sutter, with a sword. I remember that story. So craziness. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Is that it? Is that all of it? Yep, that's it. Okay. So I just think this is crazy. First off, if he did this, shame on him for doing this. You can't be taking people's money. I mean, this is such a huge picture of him. You can't be taking people's money, especially if it's for the whole COVID thing. I mean, businesses, some business didn't even come back because they couldn't get this kind of money. So, yeah, shame on him for doing this. If he did do this, I mean, allegedly, I don't know what's going on here, and we have to wait until he's either convicted to really say he did something. But if he is found guilty and he really did this, then shame on him. That's ridiculous. You can't be taking people's money, especially small businesses that are trying to like just pay their employees and keep their medical expenses, to where they can go to the doctor to get, prescriptions and stuff. It's so crazy. And if he didn't do it, then I hope that he's found innocent and everything is fine after that. I don't know, but I do like him as a Power Ranger. Yeah, he was great. I love the Power Rangers. All right, you guys. So those are my 3 stories this week. Tell me, what do you guys think about all of this? How do you feel about Marvel signing this deal to get Stan Lee's likeness? And are you okay with this, or does this bother you that they would use him as a digital double or clone in movies? Or would you just prefer that they didn't have him in these movies and just had him, just be gone? He's gone. He's not coming back and everything. And are you okay, like me, with him being on like shirts and, notebooks and like action figures, stuff like that? That stuff I'm totally okay with. And then how do you feel about them using old footage / like, let's say, deleted scenes from movies? Like I said before, are you okay with that kind of thing because he already filmed them? Or are you just like, no, as far as movies and TV shows goes, he's gone. Just let the man rest. How do you guys feel about Daredevil getting a Disney Plus series and everything? Are you guys excited about this? Are you guys not excited about this? Did you like the Daredevil show from Netflix? Or are you like one of those people that was just like, nah, it wasn't for me? Or do you just not want to see, or do you want him to reboot it or just continue on from the show from Netflix? And then, do you think that they should just reboot it and everything, kind of Disney-fy it? And then how do you feel about this Austin St. John story, where he possibly could have been stealing money from people who got money for businesses that were impacted due to the result of the pandemic? Do you think he did this? And if so, what do you think his consequences should be? I think it said he could get 6 years. Do you think he should spend 6 years? No, that was the other guy. Oh, he could spend up to 20 years in prison. Do you think he should get 20 years if he did this and everything? Yeah. All right, you guys. So that's all I got for you. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week on my week in review. You guys have a good week. Bye.
Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my week in review.